In today's video, you'll learn how to cook balanced, nutritious, and flavoursome food without spending your precious weekend meal prepping. There is a time and a place for recipes, whether you're cooking pasta, risotto, or a stew, but sometimes we need to take a step back and look at the exact nutrients our body is asking for. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact formula for creating delicious meals that are perfectly balanced and not boring like that meal prep soup you've been eating for the last few days. Now, before we get started, we need to take a look at what a balanced plate of food looks like. First, you want to fill a quarter of your plate or bowl with protein. This is essential for maintaining and building muscle and helps keep you fuller for longer. Next, fill a quarter with starches or grains, great for sustained energy, especially ones high in fiber. Then you want to fill the second half of your plate with vegetables and fruits. These provide fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Now that you have the foundation of a healthy meal, you can add in some healthy fats. These are essential for many functions in the body, including the absorption of vital nutrients. Now, we're not going to focus too much on breakfast today, but here is one breakfast that follows the formula we just looked at. Here I'm having overnight oats made with high protein vegan soy yogurt, and this is taking care of both my starch and my protein, so it's going to take up half the plate. I've also got some chia seeds in there for healthy fats. The other half of the plate I'm going to fill with berries and mango, and to boost the healthy fats I add pumpkin seeds and hemp seeds onto the overnight oats. A little sprinkle of desiccated coconut on the mango is a tasty addition as well. Now onto lunch. Now, I'm not going to give any medical advice, but I will just let you know what supplements I'm taking, as I do consider them sort of part of the whole diet. Ideally, if you can get a blood test from your doctor or paid ones every now and again, just to check how your levels are doing, that would be great, but it's not always possible. So these are the supplements I take sort of as an insurance policy. I take vitamin B12, I take vitamin D, as I haven't seen the sun in at least 30 days, so that's probably quite an important one. I also take an omega-3 supplement with EPA and DHA. It's an algae-based supplement, I believe. And I also take creatine and use protein powder every now and again. I think that's it. Sometimes a multivitamin, but not all the time. So you can take or leave that. Be sure to do your own research on supplements. I know, for example, vitamin B12, you could get it from nutritional yeast, Marmite, supplemented foods. But for me, I just find it easier to take a few tablets in the morning and make sure all my bases are covered. And then with the omega-3, some will say you just need to eat flax and chia seeds, others will say you need to supplement, and of course there is also a cost involved with getting these supplements, so do your research and make a decision for yourself on the supplement side of things. For lunch, I've done tofu with fajita seasoning. Other plant-based proteins include tempeh, lentils, beans, peas, and seitan. When you want to quickly add flavor to a vegan protein, pre-made seasoning mixes are the way to go. You can get these in the supermarket fairly cheaply, and there are such a wide range of different ones to suit your preference. I've got a chicken seasoning which has got lots of lovely herbs and spices in it. Not sure why they have to call it that. I feel like they could just call it a protein seasoning, as it works great on tofu and plant-based sauces. But anyway, I've also got a fajita seasoning and I've got a chipotle one. You could also make your own seasoning mix so you can control how much salt is in there and which spices and herbs are most prominent. But when I'm in a rush and I want a quick meal, I'm definitely reaching for these pre-made spice mixes. For my starch, I've gone for rounds of roasted sweet potato, just seasoned with salt and pepper, as we'll be adding a tasty dressing later on. Other starch options include rice, whole grain bread, quinoa, millet, pearl barley, white potatoes, and many more. For my vegetables, I'm going for edamame beans from the freezer, pickled carrots, fresh peppers, and sauerkraut, which is great for gut health. You can use any fruit and vegetables, whether they're fresh, frozen, dried, or canned. When you need to fill half your plate with vegetables, variety really is key. And not just in the vegetables, but also your cooking methods. When you use a combination of different cooking and preparation techniques for your vegetables, whether that's leaving them raw, pickling them, fermenting them, or if you're roasting them, steaming them, frying them, it's going to make filling up that half of the plate so much easier. It'll also make it so much less boring than just having half a plate of boiled broccoli, which is just frankly sad. Eating a variety of different colored fruits and vegetables is also really important. They all have different vitamins and minerals to support your body. When it comes to making a sauce or dressing, I like to make what I call a saucy dressing. And there's one requirement: it can't need a blender to make it. It must be quick and mixable. Think tahini, miso, plant-based yogurt, nut butters, anything that you can thin out with some water, oil, or maybe a citrus-based element to make a really lovely saucy dressing. For example, to yogurt you could add herbs and lemon juice, or to miso, a little sesame oil, some ginger, maybe some lime juice. And then tahini, I love adding a little bit of harissa and some lemon juice. For this saucy dressing, I simply whisked miso into water, then added peanut butter, toasted sesame oil, ginger and garlic. Miso is fermented, so great for gut health, and peanut butter is incredibly nutrient rich. It has high levels of protein, healthy fats, and several vitamins and minerals. Just make sure you get a good quality one that isn't full of sugar, additives, and palm oil. So that is one example of a balanced plate. Let's move on to my dinner. That dressing, wow. I love how much variety in texture there is. Every mouthful is different. And then that creamy peanut butter and miso dressing just brings it all together. If you're enjoying my videos and want to help support me in creating them and join the Earthy Goodness Kitchen community, scan this QR code and check out my Patreon page. I start with a quick lentil and bean salad with chipotle. When convenience is what you need, but you also want to be healthy, you can't beat canned goods such as lentils and beans. For example, for this dinner, I used both to create a simple and tasty salad using some chipotle, also from a can, and some fresh coriander. Then I add quinoa cooked with a few whole spices, which is a quick way of adding flavor and more nutrients to your starches. Then for the veggies, roasted cauliflower stalks, which is a great way to save on food wastage, roast peppers, raw spinach, and avocado for healthy fats. We then finish this dish with a tahini lime dressing for some more healthy fats. For this simple, saucy dressing, I whisked tahini with lime juice and some confit garlic, which I demonstrated how to make on my Patreon page. I also added a touch of maple syrup, as tahini can be slightly bitter. Also, I will link my favorite tahini brand in the description box. Tahini is a wonderful healthy fat, also full of protein, fiber, and minerals like calcium, iron, and magnesium. So good. I could just tell as I eat this that it's doing my body some good, and I'm not going to feel all heavy and sluggish once I finish it. Really tasty and nutritious. The great thing about not choosing a specific cuisine or dish such as pasta or risotto is you can get so much different nutrients onto one plate. You don't have to worry about it going with the dish that you've chosen, for example. You can just choose a bunch of healthy plant-based ingredients and cover them in a saucy dressing, and you're good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Now that you have the framework for delicious, balanced meals, why not check out these budget-friendly stews?